All right, let's dive right into this explainer and figure out how to navigate your entire financial life cycle the professional way. Look, far too many people just kind of sleepwalk through their careers, their investing, and eventually their retirement, assuming the system is just going to take care of them. But today, we're flipping the script.
Because here's the thing, relying on default systems is an amateur move. Today, we're looking at the hard data and the hidden rules that dictate who actually builds wealth and who quietly loses it.
The real difference between just drifting through your financial life and executing a strategic playbook, it all comes down to mindset. The amateur lets fear and complex jargon make their choices for them. The professional, they read the fine print and they actively leverage the system to their absolute advantage. So here is our playbook for today. First, capitalizing on career shortages. Second, the math of wealth. Third, reaching coast fire. Fourth, Social Security's quiet traps. And finally, securing your financial future. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Capitalizing on career shortages and earning leverage. You see, the professional playbook actually starts by chasing labor shortages rather than crowded, saturated degree paths. Check this out. What's really interesting here is that these incredibly high-demand, low-competition jobs require certifications that take weeks, not years. You don't have to go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt for a 4-year degree. Take data center HVAC technicians, for example. With the massive AI boom, data centers are absolutely desperate for cooling experts. Or crematory operators, an industry that is literally immune to economic recessions. Even being a virtual patient sitter lets you break into healthcare remotely. The professional way is to grab these high-leverage roles quickly. But wait, the ultimate professional move is what we call stacking. It's building a digital income stream right on top of your primary job, just like Zach and Lauren did to completely multiply their earning power. They didn't just do the work, they documented it. Zach took his HVAC trade knowledge to YouTube and built a full-time income in under a month. And Lauren, she filmed her crematory cleanings and stacked an extra $12,500 a month on top of her regular paycheck. That is the new economy's professional playbook. Take a high-demand, unglamorous job and digitize your expertise.
All right, moving to Section 2, the math of wealth and strategic growth. So you've earned the money through leverage, but how do you actually keep it? Just look at the arithmetic of compounding here. While active investing can technically yield the most, for about 98% of people, the absolute professional approach is passively investing in the S&P 500. Pay close attention to that middle bar. If a financial advisor beats the market but charges you a 1.5% fee, over 30 years, they are going to drain hundreds of thousands of dollars from your portfolio. Unless you have the immense time and emotional control required for active trading, which, let's be real, most of us don't, the optimal path is sticking to simple, low-cost passive index funds.
Because you simply cannot save your way to wealth. Inflation is actively devaluing your currency every single day. If your money is just sitting in a bank account earning a tiny fraction of a percent while inflation runs hot, you are facing a guaranteed mathematical loss. As a professional, you have to recognize that investing isn't a gamble. It is a mandatory defensive mechanism to protect your buying power.
Section 3. Reaching coast fire. Front-loading your freedom. Now, this early, aggressive investing unlocks our next massive pivot. This is where the math of wealth truly works in your favor to literally buy back your time. Coast fire is just the ultimate professional pivot. It allows you to secure your future so early that you can transition to work you actually love. Instead of grinding away until you're 65 just to slowly fill up a traditional retirement account, you hustle hard early on. And once you hit your specific number, you never have to invest another dollar. You can downshift, take a lower stress, lower paying job you actually enjoy, and let the market do all the heavy lifting for the next 30 years. Let's put that into perspective. If you can hit a nest egg of $150,000 by age 35, and we assume an 8% return, that money will coast to over $1.5 million by the time you're 65. And that's without you adding a single dime. That is the sheer power of compound interest. The professional treats their 20s and early 30s as an absolute sprint to hit this coast fire number, permanently changing the trajectory of their financial lifespan. Section 4, Social Security's quiet traps and defensive planning. Building wealth is really only half the battle. Now we have to defend your retirement from some very quiet, bureaucratic traps. Because the moment you reach retirement, the rules change entirely. Think about Roscoe. He spent winters sitting at his kitchen table doing pencil math, just wondering why his $40 cost of living raise never actually arrived in his check. He was completely unaware that a Medicare savings program existed to cover that premium for him. You see, every year a Social Security raise is announced, but before you see a single penny of it, Medicare Part B premiums are deducted. For a lot of folks, that premium increase completely swallows their raise. The amateur just sighs and accepts the smaller check. But the professional? They realize there are state programs specifically designed to pay that premium for you if you just know to ask for the form. And this builds into an even larger trap, the IRMA surcharge. This is an income-related penalty on your Medicare premiums, and it's a cliff, not a ramp. A one-time cash event, like Mabel selling her house in year 1, will silently trigger a massive penalty in year 3. It looks back 2 years at your tax returns. So if you sold a house, cashed out a policy, or tragically lost a spouse and had to file as a single earner, your income spikes on paper. 2 years later, the government quietly reaches into your check and pulls out hundreds of extra dollars a month. When widows like Juanita get hit by this IRMA lookback, the professional way to fight back is to immediately file Form SSA 44 to recalculate their actual living situation. This is literally the difference between losing thousands of dollars and keeping what is rightfully yours. The government isn't going to just send you this form when they apply the surcharge. You have to proactively submit it to prove your income dropped due to a life-changing event. The professional is armed with this knowledge well before the penalty letter ever arrives. Section 5. Securing your financial future. Don't freeze in fear. Finally, let's tackle the quietest trap of all, the absolute end of the traditional paper check. This is happening right now, and doing nothing is the most dangerous choice you can make. For seniors out in rural areas like Del Mar, or those who are terrified of scams like Hattie, this mandatory shift by the U.S. Treasury to electronic payments can cause total paralysis. I mean, it makes sense on paper. Electronic payments are safer from mailbox theft and they're cheaper to process. But for millions of people who have never trusted a bank or who live miles away from one, getting this notice induces pure panic. It's an incredibly stressful moment. But here's the thing. The professional does not freeze in fear. They choose direct deposit, the government debit card, or the hardship waiver, knowing full well that ignoring the deadline is the only way their check actually stops. The government won't steal your money, but they absolutely will suspend the payment if they don't have a digital destination for it. Whether it's using the Direct Express card just like a normal debit card or filing a formal hardship waiver if you genuinely lack access, the professional knows the exact administrative levers to pull to keep their money flowing. As the quote goes, the people who get hurt are the people who didn't know the options existed until the money was already gone. These bureaucratic rules are designed to be applied quietly. That means paying attention and knowing the exact paperwork to file is your ultimate defense. From choosing a high-leverage career, to passively investing to beat inflation, to knowing exactly which forms to file when Medicare reaches into your check. Wealth isn't just about what you make. It is entirely about what you are prepared to protect. So now that you know the professional playbook, what proactive move are you going to make to secure your financial lifespan today? The tools, the strategies, and the forms are all right here in front of you. Are you going to keep leaving your money to default systems like an amateur, or are you ready to take professional control right now? The choice is yours.